There is something we should never forget. Hillary Clinton had a Pied Piper strategy in 2016. If one is honest, there has to be a recognition that the Democratic National Committee always wanted Trump. When WikiLeaks exposed Hillary's famous emails, which revealed she and her team instructing CNN and other partisan media to elevate Trump in the primary, it became clear that Hillary Clinton and the DNC wanted Trump for her opponent. He makes a lot of noise and makes a good heel for Team Blue to rail against and fundraise. But most importantly, he maintains the elite capture of our systems. If one takes the time to look deeper into the presidency of Donald Trump, it gets easy to notice that Trump, in 8 years or 80 years, never calls out Wall Street, BlackRock, private equity, big banks, big pharma, big agriculture, big chemical, or any of the real centers of power. Curiously, he only ever pits himself against the Democrats, who then conveniently only pit themselves against Trump and the Republicans. Round and round they go, and the wheel keeps on turning, and all stay in power, and more importantly, have a capacity at raising exorbitant amounts of money. If you are willing, as a Republican or a Make America Great Again diehard, to take a deeper examination of President Trump's actual record in office, you have to ask, is he localizing or decentralizing power back to the people? How is he untangling the corporate capture of our agencies and institutions? Did he do that swamp draining he promised in his campaign by hiring swamp creatures for cabinet positions and putting industry execs in charge of the agencies that are supposed to keep them in check? By continuing the revolving door, perverse incentives, and conflicts of interest that turn our government to the benefit of private interests at our expense? It's Kayfabe, like professional wrestling. They keep the people split into two factions, following two different scripts, wrapped up in the rival mythologies of two separate soap operas. While we're distracted or at each other's throats, the big bosses are busy tailoring all of our systems to serve themselves, suck us all dry, and rob us of our sovereignty. Robert Kennedy Jr. is the real threat to the system of grift that has supplanted our democratic republic. He is laser-focused and calls it all out with precision. After 40 years of legal battles against corrupt corporations and the government agencies they control, he knows exactly who to fire and how to restructure these agencies and systems. This is why Kennedy has been deemed too dangerous for live TV and was kept out of the debate at all costs. It's why the parties are waging lawfare against him in state after state, trying and failing to keep him off the ballot. Best of all, Mr. Kennedy has laid out a broad swath of common ground where we can come together around the fundamental issues that affect our individual liberties and quality of life. Food, farming, small business, free speech, chronic disease, cost of living, ending wars, housing, and upholding our constitutional rights. Let's not fall into the trap again, America. If we can name pro wrestling as a scripted soap opera, we can certainly say the same of our modern political moment. Kennedy has been at 24% in three-way polls, and he can win. We just have to let go of all the red and blue grudges and overcome the self-fulfilling prophecy ingrained in us that only the two parties can win. We can stop voting out of fear of the other side and come together to forge a new path on common ground.